Good early evening, everybody. It's Lorraine, Alternative Homesteading on Sunday. I think it's, September 30th? This is in the sky above my property. And for all those people that say, oh, but it's in the distance. No, this is it's directly overhead. Okay, it's directly over my property right here. And it's been clear all day today, except you can see how clear it's been like down there. But now suddenly they've decided to spray the skies, like all here. You can see like the little swirly thing over there. But the skies have been clear, which means that we have not had any rain. So we are expecting some rain on Tuesday. And of course, they're going to cause it to rain right here. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you the vandalism that happens inside the Cats building. I'm not exactly sure when it happens. But anyway, I wanted to say thank you for everybody that joined in the chat last night. It was quite nice. We did some reading. And I didn't have to, nobody had to actually moderate anybody. So, except for the creepy voice that we can't get rid of. In fact, the creepy voice started speaking before I even said a word when I signed on just a couple of minutes after 10 p.m. So now let me just explain. My name is Lorraine. I have a 501c3 nonprofit cat rescue, Freya's Cat Rescue. I moved 28 and then 2 more cats from New Jersey to rural Kentucky. And I purchased this building for them. Custom made building, vaulted ceilings, 2 lofts, linoleum, a mini split, which they cut the hose on. They cut the hose on that. Electricity, no water. So I moved all of my cat rescue and my 5-bedroom house to this remote rural Kentucky. And I'm very fastidious about taking care of the cats and my property and everything else. And that's why these criminals are destroying everything. Because they go after everything that brings you joy. And everything that you're good at and everything that you value, they destroy. They don't destroy their own houses, their own property. Only those of those people that they target, for whatever the reason is. Of course, with me, and I can't speak for other people, but I am being experimented on. I have incisions all over my body by these covert criminals. And people ask, well, how do they do it? Well, this is how they do it. They can do it remotely. Yes, the technology is that advanced that they can do it remotely. They do covertly enter your house while you're asleep. And they can put you to sleep at will for any length of time and cause you to not remember what happened. Although I will say, as a certified clinical hypnotist, which I am, that repressed memories almost always resurface at some point. You never know when they're going to. There's something, and that's what Kathy O'Brien was saying in her book last night, A Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, Time to Heal, that the memories will start to resurface, and you won't know the difference between memories that are inserted, like from watching television, listening to others, from the memories that you're actually experiencing. It takes some time. So when I moved from New Jersey to Kentucky, of course, I brought all of my cat's belongings with me, my own belongings, which were in pristine condition. Anything that wasn't in good condition, I gave away. I gave away a lot of stuff to other rescues in New Jersey, tons of stuff. I figured when I got to Kentucky, I'll buy them new stuff, which I did do. I bought a lot of new stuff here for the cats because I had a new building, I had a new way of doing things. They weren't like sharing my entire 5-bedroom house the way they were in New Jersey. They had their own setup here. So it was set up very differently. So I purchased a lot of very cushiony beds because unlike New Jersey, we had an upstairs and a downstairs, and they got to sleep on wood floors, which are softer and carpeting than here, like on OSB board and linoleum. So I bought them very cushy blankets and raised beds and stuff like that. And what I do to prevent my having to wash a bed is I will cover their beds with a pillowcase, like a large pillowcase or another blanket or whatever. So I went to wash clothes today, as I do every day. Every day I'm washing cat clothes and my clothes, sometimes twice a day, 3 times a day, sometimes 4 times a day. So today I decided I'm going to add to what I need to wash for the cats today. So I removed this, which you can see on the top here. It looks new, looks brand new, right? I had this covered with this, zippered, covered. Now this used to have its own pillow, and the pillow was destroyed by these criminals, so I had to throw it away. So I'm using this as a cover for other beds. So I removed the cover and lifted this up, and this is what they did to the cat's bed. And this was the cushion that was inside of it that they removed. This was the fluff. So they actually sliced it and removed everything. And then they did the same thing here to this bed. And I'm going to turn it around so you can see how new this is. But this is what they do to your carpets too. Your carpets may look okay from the top, but please, targeted people, if you have valuable carpets and stuff, do yourself a favor and look underneath, because in New Jersey, I noticed that they were slicing my carpets from the underside. I couldn't understand why they were falling apart. I was the only person that lived there. My cats were not scratching on my carpets. So here, you can see, looks brand new, except for little dirt here and there because I cover it with a pillowcase. When I remove the pillowcase, this is what it looks like underneath. So these are 2 beds. As you can see, this one was an expensive bed. You can see here, this was an expensive bed because it's got the little tuck here where the cats can go under here. So these are going in the garbage. These are 2 of 6 beds so far that they cut up. And no, it's not the cats doing it, because as I mentioned, these are not out there like this. Each one of them is covered in either a zippered case or a regular pillowcase. So I buy like a lot of pillowcases to cover all of their beds, so that if the cover gets dirty, I'll just clean the cover, replace the cover, and they'll still have their nice cushiony bed. And you could see, the inside here is nice and clean, but when you turn it over, this is what they've done to the cat's bed. So, so this is what happens here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Jackson County, Kentucky is involved in animal cruelty, animal torture, falsifying incident reports about animals, dumping pregnant animals on my property, dumping raccoons and wildlife. Jackson County, Kentucky, the Sheriff's Department, the Fusion Center operatives, and all the people that are paid under the table to do this to innocent animals with your tax dollars. Your tax dollars. And yes, we cannot leave out my favorite Bureau of Investigation, which I call the FBI. The FBI is involved in creating the watch list. It's called the Terrorist Screening Database. And what they do is they allow random people in the know, people who are connected. It takes 2 people to place somebody on the list, to nominate. You get nominated, like, it's a prize or something, like maybe being nominated for some special prize for the rest of my life. So this is the special prize for the rest of my life. These are my second set of screens. And no, the cats did not do this. The criminals did this. The cats did not do this. The criminals did this. That's what these losers do here. in Jackson County, Kentucky. The sheriff's in on it, the county lawyer's in on it, your neighbors are in on it, the fusion center operatives, those are the ones that drive back and forth with the $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 vehicles and the dark, dark windows that you can't see inside. Those are the ones. Those are the private contractors, the fusion center operators. They're the ones that spread the slander throughout the community and lie, lie, lie. They try to set people up for crimes that they didn't commit. Oh, they're all in on it. They all lie about everything. They harass your workers, tell them to not work on your property, say that you don't pay your bills, tear out your gates, leave dildos in the mailbox, skinned dead animals in the mailbox. And do you think that the sheriff investigates any of these crimes? No, 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 not here in Jackson County. So in Lecter County, we have sextortion going on. Everything is sex. They've got a brothel in the county jail. And the sheriff offs the judge because evidently the judge is doing the dirty with all the inmates, just like the sheriff's deputy. But in Jackson County, well, I don't know if there's a lot of sex going on here. I don't know. I have no idea about that, what's going on in the county jail here, but I can tell you for a fact that they falsify incident reports, and then when you FOIA request them, they delete all of your FOIA requests, which should be a felony. Public FOIA requests are made public for a reason. It's public information that the public needs to know. But it's a huge cover-up. The destruction of my property, the destruction of what was once a historical village. The former beloved, alleged beloved former owner, Travis Sparks, rolling around in his grave because of all of his hypocritical alleged friends. And by the way, I'm speaking out loud in the privacy of my property. No one has permission to record, videotape, surveil, eavesdrop, pinhole cameras, EMFs. No one has permission in the privacy of my own property, and including the witches on patrol. Stay off my property, because if I continue to find your shit on my property, I will file a bigger complaint than I already have. So anyway, this is what they do when they illegally enter a 501c3 nonprofit building for cats. With your tax dollars, people are paid to destroy other people's property. And you think all of these people that are involved in this, in the cover-up, do they think that in the end they will be forgiven? What, are you kidding? And even these criminals that are spraying this garbage in the sky. These are crimes against humanity. Crimes, hate crimes, perpetrated against individuals because they want to live their life freely. Because of envy and jealousy and greed. And everybody lies. Everybody's a hypocrite. I even had one neighbor, one perpetrator, one harasser, one biatch, one poopy nurse who had the audacity to drive around with a license plate that said blessed. And I'm thinking to myself, what planet do you live on? You stalk people, you defame people, you harass people, you threaten people, you trespass. And you have the audacity to think that you're blessed? You are cursed. Anybody that participates in the harassment of innocent people are cursed. And all the money that you got paid to harass and stalk me for 6 fucking years will be taken back from you in the end. And I will be moving. And there is nothing you can do about it. But you will pay for all the things you did to me. All you liars. All the vandalism. All the hypocrites. All the slander. All the little secret meetings. The little paid under the table. You cursed your own damn community. When you go after innocent people for a profit, you are cursed. There ain't nothing blessed about you. And anybody that can harm innocent animals like that, hell's got a special place for you guys. Destroying cats' beds? What kind of a sicko? What kind of a sick, pathetic loser breaks into a non-profit building and slices beds? Burns trees, burns grass, cuts holes in buildings. Slices all my water catchments, slices the hoses. You think it's not going to come back to you? You gotta be kidding me. And I will find out the faces behind those black windows. Mark my words. I will find out which private contractors you are. And I know at least one of you biatches is from New Jersey. Right? The money was too good. You got to follow me. So you're considered to be a stalker, a bona fide stalker. So you're here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Maybe we don't have a brothel in the county jail, but we've got a bunch of losers around here that are engaged in animal torture, animal cruelty, falsifying incident reports, real estate mobbing, property mobbing, taking money under the table, and nobody around here can balance a damn checkbook or a budget. They don't fix the roads, they don't fix the county creek, but they're all taking money under the table. Somebody comes into a building to slice cat beds. Is this amazing? So anyway, that's my rant for Sunday night. And thank you for the phone number to report what's going on in the sky. I haven't had time to do that yet, but I have it clearly documented actually since I moved here. In fact, I actually wrote to the health department when I moved here asking if they were spraying like for insects or ragweed. You know, they do that in New Jersey. They'll have certain times of the year that they actually spray for ragweed. And they said, no, what are you talking about? I said, well, can I send you some photos? So I sent photos to the health department, and they had the audacity to say, oh, well, those are normal flight patterns. I don't know, guys. I wasn't born yesterday. Normal flight patterns. But anyway, leave a comment down below. For those people that have pets, do they do this to your cat's beds? The things that belong to your animals, do they do this to the items that belong to your animals? And again, these were covered with pillowcases. So anyway, this is Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I'm going to sign off for now. This is Popcorn. Popcorn is the father of those kittens. Yes, you are. You are the father of those kittens, because that girl, she snuck out of the house a couple of months ago. I didn't know she was out. And then she came back, El Prego, because of him. That guy right there. But anyway, I'm going to sign off for now. I have 2 other videos that I wanted to record. One is some comments that I received on a video that I posted the other day, and I also reposted it on my Quora page, my Quora group, and received an interesting response that I've not heard about this before. So I'm going to record that separately. And I also found something on the property today that I'd like to record before I get rid of it, because I'm not going to keep all these things. I'll probably give it away to somebody. But I hope everybody's doing well. I'm going to sign off for now.